Well, today uh, I watched it because it was free on YouTube, and I'd seen this film many times before, and I really enjoyed it. But the movie Almost Famous, I was watching again. I haven't finished watching it, and the performance of Philip Seymour Hoffman is one of the things that struck me first when I first saw it. But as I look at that film again, and I've only watched the first few minutes of it, but the controlling nature of the mother. Now, the mother is not a hippy dippy liberal. She is, I would assume that she is somewhat of a leftist and a control freak leftist at that. And she has a lot of ideas that are not in the norm. And she forces her children, her family, to live under those rules and those abnormal beliefs. She kind of, I would think that perhaps Susan Wojcicki would be like the mom in Almost Famous. I think her name is Rebecca McDormand. Really good, great acting by her, by the way. But she's not, she's not a very tolerant person for anyone else's beliefs or ideas. She is very arrogant and very authoritarian. And I think it's kind of the way the left is today. They're kind of like the mom in Almost Famous, where you know if you try to challenge their views, they just absolutely will shut you down and censor you. I think I think social media is often run like uh, like the mom in uh, in Almost Famous, even though they probably enjoy maybe alternative rock or all kinds of degenerate music. They kind of see her point of view as far as racial and social justice goes, and if you challenge it, you are going to get very much quashed. That's the way it looks to me, anyway. Uh, the way I see some of these people, and when they testify before Congress, they're very sneaky, and they they have often they will have selective amnesia when they're testifying. It's some of the most what I've seen is some of the most dishonorable things I've ever seen. Now Fauci's emails are I guess are public now, and there are people that have empathy for Dr. Fauci, and there are people who find that he's in a difficult position. But these emails, and I haven't read them yet, but there are people who are saying that his emails, this shouldn't have been done, and this is an act of privacy, and it's primarily people on the left that don't want it. Of course, everything that Trump does, they want all his emails, they want this, they want his tax returns and everything else. But with Dr. Fauci, they want that on something that affected every one of us. The people in America and around the world were affected by the decisions and the like, and we can't examine the person who does this. It's kind of sad. By the way, StreamYard has changed, so I don't know how much you know if I'm in trouble or not. Some of the things I've said have perhaps been rather inflammatory, I guess. And they've also talked about the Oklahoma bombing, the Oklahoma, what they call the Oklahoma massacre. There's a little bit of difference in history, what history has been saying, and there's been some discrepancies. And I guess we're not allowed to discuss and debate this issue on what the truth really is about the situation that happened in Oklahoma, because there are people who say 300 people died, others it's more like 60 to 40, and there was a whole situation with a gun battle between blacks and whites, and then it went from there. The fact that history debunked, and I put that both history debunked and I forget the other person's YouTube name, but they both had different. They were both different historical analysis of the whole situation in Oklahoma, and I don't know which one is true or not, but there seems to be the story before seemed to have been there was a gun battle. There may have been a rape or an attempted rape by the white elevator person. So and I just yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna go put into Joe right now that I am starting a show, just to let him know that I'm doing that. My show is on. I'll just say my show is on. Sorry, folks, on this one. Just telling them my show is on. But I wanted to get back to the movies about Almost Famous, and the movies and the music of the 60s and 70s were really, really kind of transformative. I think they put in more of a degenerate culture, which wasn't necessarily good, but before, these people were very open to debate, and they were open to discussion, and it was the right that wanted to shut things down. Now the roles are rather reversed. The left is in control. The left has the power of the establishment, and they want to shut down any dissent to their ideology and philosophy. And it's, I guess, the internet used to be, you go on there, and it was really, I remember when and social media was really the age of information, or it was really the information age, and that's not the case anymore. And it's been taken over by people who think that there's a lot of disinformation out there, but it's disinformation by one side, and then the other side, of course, the other side that is part of the establishment, they can disinform you as much as they want, and when they're wrong, there seems to be really no punishment for their misbehavior. But if you're on the right, there's even if you tell the truth, if the truth is offensive to certain protected classes and to certain protected groups, and it goes against the narrative, you certainly will be punished today. And they don't even want to debate you; they just want to censor you. And it's unfortunate, but hopefully, like I said, with my, Joe and I are hopefully building a website that we can have open, honest discussion and debate. Look, I have an opinion. Joe has an opinion. Uh, and we want other people with different opinions. Come on, come one, come all, and discuss them. Unfortunately, I mean, I do follow, I strive to follow YouTube standards, but, you know, I certainly wish they had the standards of 2013, 2014. I think it was around 2015 that they started to claim that YouTube was promoting hate speech, and then they called it the intellectual dark web, uh, and it was primarily of people who had conservative views that were, I guess, not part of the mainstream, and they talked about cultural issues and societal issues from their perspective. The thing of it is, there isn't an intellectual dark web for leftists because they control the establishment. But and also, I don't think there's a lot of intellect with the left. It's all about power, and you know, they're not there for you know, a kind of shared truth. They're there. I mean, either you believe in their truth or you're punished. It's kind of a religious doctrine, and if you go against it, then you will absolutely you could be punished. And I'm kind of going against it in a diplomatic way, you know, just enough where I can kind of, you know, get away with it, because of course they don't want you to hear what other people have to say if it goes against their doctrine. It's just unfortunate, you know, but it is what it is. Um, is that going to change? Maybe. Uh, these individuals are very powerful, and you know, egos. You know, I don't think they're going to change because they want to. They may change because they're forced to. But even then, uh, I think that the fanaticism within these, you know, the people who are working for these companies who have the kind of fanatical ideology may not give up without a fight, and they will do everything that is sneaky and underhanded uh, that they can do. It is what it is. Anyway, this has been Brian with Transparency and Merit. Like, subscribe, maybe even leave a comment down below. Thank you for listening.